From Botswana to Croatia and rural Taiwan to a shopping mall in Dubai, there are some incredible roller coasters in unusual places around the world. While we all love a trip to Cedar Point or Florida, sometimes you need to head off the beaten path to find some of the most incredible and unique hidden gem credits around the world. So let's talk about some of the best hidden gem roller coasters in unexpected places that you might never have heard of. Up first, Guazi at Botswana's Lion Park Resort. The southern African nation of Botswana only has one roller coaster, but it certainly is worth visiting for. Guazi, no, not Iron Guazi, is a Schwarzkopf looping star model located at the Lion Park Resort near the nation's capital of Gaborone. This is the same extreme Schwarzkopf model that is located at Nagashima Spaland and Frontier City. It stands 24.5 meters tall with 592 meters of track, a top speed of 77 kilometers an hour, and one super forceful vertical loop. This ride was relocated from Hungary's Holmenvalt Park in 2009, opening in Botswana in 2011. Before that, this ride called the UK home, and British viewers might remember it as Looping Star at Dreamland Margate or Thunderloop Express at Scotland's Loudon Castle. Its current home is a safari resort in Botswana's southeast, where guests can also experience a water park, food and beverage, and lion viewing. Imagine spending your day experiencing true African wildlife before coming back to the resort for a ride on a high-quality Schwarzkopf. Up next, Avalancha at Guatemala's Zetulul. Zetulul is Guatemala's largest amusement park, and despite Guatemala's relatively low tourist numbers compared to some larger countries, this park is super high quality, featuring excellent theming, beautiful architecture and landscaping, and an impressive ride collection. This place really should be on any coaster enthusiast's bucket list. But its signature coaster is without a doubt Avalancha, an Intamin 8 inversion coaster. The station and ride area look absolutely fantastic with their polar theming, and it's a forceful ride layout with an incredible 8 inversions. This is a similar ride model to the 10 inversion coasters that viewers might be familiar with as Colossus at Thorpe Park, Sick at Flamingo Land, and many others. Avalancha opened with the park in 2002, which also features a variety of high-quality flat rides and brilliant theming. If you're a coaster enthusiast, add Guatemala to your bucket list right away. Up next, Montrousa at Colombia's Parque del Café. Colombia is very quickly emerging as the best coaster destination in South America, and their best park is undoubtedly Parque del Café. As well as this coaster, the park features a Gerstlauer Eurofighter and some of the most panoramic views you'll find at any park. The park focuses heavily on Colombia's famous coffee industry, so if you like your coffee, this is the theme park for you. But for coaster enthusiasts, the major drawcard will be Montrousa, a lengthy Schwarzkopf speed racer model with 787 meters of track. If it looks familiar to any American viewers, that's because it was relocated from Worlds of Fun, where it operated as the beloved and famous Zambezi Zinger. That's right, this is the ride that Worlds of Fun's new GCI is named after. This classic 1970s Schwarzkopf will give you the true experience of the German designer in his heyday, with its exposed seating and lengthy, reasonably forceful layout. If you missed out on riding the original Zambezi in Kansas City, then you absolutely must make a trip to get it in Colombia. Up next, Big Blue at Croatia's Dalmaland. When you think of a coaster trip to Europe, you're probably imagining heading to the west or even to Scandinavia. The Balkans would probably not be high on your priority list. But there is one coaster in southeastern Europe that really stands out, and that's this Schwarzkopf Silver Arrow at Croatia's Dalmaland. This coaster has had a long journey to reach this beautiful country on the Adriatic. It first opened at France's OK Corral as Looping Star, before being relocated to Wales, where it operated at Ocean Beach Amusement Park from 1986 to 1988. It then spent some time in England, first at Camelot Theme Park, before relocating again to Dreamland Margate. Just like Guazi, it also moved from Dreamland to Scotland's Loudon Castle. What is with those parks and Schwarzkopfs? before departing the UK for its new home in Croatia, where it is operated since 2017. The Silver Arrow layout is slightly different from the looping style layout, featuring a forceful helix, but still having that signature forceful Schwarzkopf loop. Interestingly, it appears that Dalmaland haven't repainted the trains because they still say Twist and Shout on the back, the name the ride operated as in Scotland. Up next, Montaña Suiza at Spain's Parque de Atracciones Monte Aguildo. While many trips to Spain will result in trips to Parque Warner or Portaventura, there is a historic park in the Basque Country that features perhaps the most scenic roller coaster in the world. Montaña Suiza has operated here since 1928 and is an Erich Heydrich designed scenic railway with steel rails in a concrete trough. That makes it the oldest steel roller coaster still operating in the world. As well as being one of the last coasters in the world operated by a brakeman, this coaster lacks traditional supports and instead weaves behind houses, over the top of a wall, through tunnels, and around the cliffsides on the beautiful coast of northern Spain using tracks set on the ground in troughs. It's a lengthy 90-second ride and one of the most historic coasters in the world. It's amazing to think that so many enthusiasts visit Spain every year, but a lot of them miss a trip to San Sebastian to ride one of the most historic roller coasters in the world and one that offers perhaps the best views on any coaster in Europe. Up next, Storm Coaster at the UAE's Dubai Hills Mall. The United Arab Emirates are becoming somewhat of a coaster destination. Between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, there are several high-quality coasters, including those at Ferrari World, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, and Motion Gate. But one of the UAE's most underrated coasters opened recently in a shopping mall in Dubai. Storm Coaster is an Intamin vertical launch coaster, opened at the Dubai Hills Mall in 2022. And while many visitors to the UAE may skip over it for the larger parks, it's a forceful and unique layout, winding around the walls of an inner atrium of the mall. It features a 77 km/h vertical launch, 2 incredible dive loops, and an incredibly unique layout inspired by the famously never constructed Polar Coaster. While there's no denying that the likes of Flying Aces and Formula Rossa are the draw cards of the UAE for coaster enthusiasts, a trip to the Dubai Hills Mall is an absolute must-do as well. Who knows, maybe you can pick up some good shopping while you're getting a ride on one of Intamin's most unique launch coasters. Up next, Racing Coaster at Indonesia's Trans Studio Bandung. First constructed at this indoor theme park near Jakarta in 2011, this Premier Rides launch coaster puts everything else in Indonesia to shame. Originally themed to Yamaha motorcycles, this powerful LSM launch coaster sends the train to a top speed of 100 km/h in just 2 seconds through a forceful shuttle layout on top of a building. The layout is short, but features a towering vertical spike and a forceful looking inside top hat, which would be incredible to experience backwards. The ride reminds me of a smaller version of the Mr. Freeze coasters that Premier Rides installed at 2 Six Flags parks in the United States. As well as this, the ride appears to feature very decent theming, which I believe the Trans Studio parks are known for. This definitely looks to be an incredibly forceful little shuttle coaster that would be worth a trip if you happen to be in Jakarta. And don't forget to check out the Hopkins and Pierce Wild Mice while you're there. Up next, Insane Speed at Taiwan's Janfusun Fancy World. This is the only coaster on this list that I've ridden myself, and I included it because of how shocked I was at how remote this Taiwanese park is. Located a fair distance from any major city, Janfusun Fancy World features not one, but 2 B&M coasters, and the best of the 2 is Insane Speed, their flawless coaster. The ride's best element is its straight first drop. Without the lateral whip of many of the flawless coaster's first drops, this drop is all about some very powerful floater airtime. The interlocking corkscrews are also absolutely excellent. Both of them whip extremely hard, proving to be perhaps the most forceful moments on the ride. Surrounded by farmland and small villages, it's fascinating that this park exists, and it's absolutely worth the long train ride and bus trip you'll have to make in order to visit from any of Taiwan's major cities. And don't forget to try the other B&M, which is a mirrored clone of Alton Tower's Oblivion. And finally, the upcoming Mad Ramp Peak at Malaysia's Genting Skyworlds. While this ride is currently facing delays due to the financial issues of dynamic attractions, it is nearing completion in 2024, and when it opens, it will likely become a completely one-of-a-kind ride, as it isn't likely that another dynamic synergy coaster will be built. Dynamic have been sold to a Hong Kong-based buyer in order to avoid liquidation, so there is still hope for these projects. Made by the same manufacturer as the hotly anticipated Mission Ferrari, the world's first SFX coaster, this coaster might be even more unique. As well as its incredible theming, the ride features an incredible ride system unveiled at the IAAPA Expo in 2018, which allows the motorcycle-themed ride vehicles to tilt and pitch forward, backward, and side to side, giving a true sensation of racing in a vehicle along a road which covers the track. The ride model can simulate drifting, airtime, 360-degree spinouts, and other racing phenomena. As well as this coaster, Genting Skyworlds are also in the process of constructing the second ever SFX coaster, and if either or both of these projects come to life, the park will certainly put itself on the map as one of the most unique, and perhaps one of the best, coaster destinations in Southeast Asia, if not Asia overall. Both of these rides, while little known, are incredibly exciting and hopefully will finally open in 2024. While these coasters may be located in overshadowed destinations or are overshadowed by bigger destinations in their home country, they're all incredible rides worth a visit. So if you ever find yourself in Guatemala, Botswana, Croatia or Taiwan, just look back on this video and remember that there's probably a coaster for you. Thank you so much for watching, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.